Hi friends! For our reading lesson today, we are going to be completing activity with our story, Jack and the Beanstalk. So yesterday we got to read our fairy tale story, and today we are going to reread it, and then we are going to watch a movie version of Jack and the Beanstalk. So in this video, as we reread our story, Jack and the Beanstalk, I want you to pay close attention to what characters are there, where the setting takes place, and the events in the story. Then when we watch the movie version, I want you to compare what stayed the same between the book and the movie. And what do you notice that was different? So let's get ready to read our story, Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Jack. He and his mom had no money for food because someone had taken their goose. Sometimes it would lay golden eggs for them. Jack went to sell their cow. He met a man. "I will trade these special beans for your cow," the man said. Jack came home. His mother was mad. She threw the beans on the ground. Soon a tall beanstalk grew. Jack climbed it. At the top was a huge castle. Inside, Jack found his goose in a cage under a table. Then Jack heard, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, look out, here I come." It was a giant! First Jack grabbed the goose. Then he ran right out the door. Jack climbed down the beanstalk as fast as he could. He chopped it down. Now Jack and his mother were safe, and they had their goose. They all lived happily ever after. Next, we are going to read our decodable called Let's Eat by Robert Stewart, illustrated by John Segal. In our story, I want you to be looking for contractions. For example, in our title of our story, the word let's is a contraction for the two words let us. Let's eat is the same as saying let us eat. So be looking for contractions as you read, and also words with AI and AY. The day had ended. It was time to eat. Nell had a plate filled with meat. "It's time to get Ben," said Nell. "He'd hate to be late." Just on our first page, I see a few different contractions. We talked about how the word let's is a contraction for let us. It's is also a contraction. Do you remember what it's stands for? It's is a contraction for it is. He'd is also a contraction. He'd is a contraction for he would. He'd hate to be late. He would hate to be late. As we read through the rest of our decodable, I want you to see what contractions you see and if you can tell what two words they are together. While Nell was out, Faye came in. Faye had a pot filled with rice. She put rice on a plate. Nell likes rice and peas. She'll like this, said Faye. While Nell was out, Blaine came in. Blaine had a pot filled with beans. Blaine put beans in a big dish. Ben likes beans. He'll like this, said Blaine. Then Jess came in. Jess filled each cup with grape drink. Nell likes grapes. She'll like this. She will, said Jess. Nell and Ben came home. Isn't this a treat? Asked Ben. Yes, it is, said Nell. I didn't make this, but I know who did. Nell gave Ben a note. Please come quick. Let's have fun. Your pals, Nell and Ben. Nell set 5 gray plates and 5 red cups. Ben went and got Faye, Blaine, and Jess. Nell, Ben, Faye, Blaine, and Jess had a fine meal. Let's clean up, said Jess. Under each plate was a thank you note. What a sweet story for us to get to read about Nell and her friends. Were you able to spot any more contractions in our story? Our last activity will be completing a page in our reader's notebook. Let's get started. The activity to complete in our reader's notebook is found on page 34. I just circled that page number at the bottom of the screen, page 34 in our reader's notebook. For this activity, you are going to practice spelling words with the vowel pairs A-I, A-Y. Your directions tell you to sort the words. Write the correct spelling words in each column. So in this column, it wants you to write all of the words with A-I, And in this column, it wants you to write all of the words with A-Y. Here are the list of the spelling words that you will be sorting into different categories. Let's go over the words. The first word is play, grain, sail, mail, may, rain, way, day, stay, pain. So what you will do is look at each word and write it under the correct column. Does the word have an AI pair or an AY pair? For example, the word play. It is spelled P-L-A-Y. That would go under the column with AY. So I would write the word play. And then you can cross out the word once you're done with it. So sort the words into the correct column that they go under.